I'm gonna guess that you have very big dreams for your future, that you're hoping for these big things to come your way. But I'm also gonna guess that the impact of your past is affecting you right now in the present moment, whether you realize it or not. And that is actually going to dictate your future. So, on this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to break free from that and how to create a present moment that is actually going to align and make it so much easier to get to the future that you desire. Welcome back to another video. My name is Kara Michelle and I'm here to help you live your truth. And this is such a crucial topic, okay? So this was mind-blowing in my own life. I'm going to share some Welcome back to another video. My name is Kara Michelle and I'm here to help you live your truth. So the biggest thing that a lot of people don't realize and that keeps people stuck in the same loop is the impact of their past. So let's say, for example, some heavy things have happened, or even just some like average or normal things where you felt like you weren't good enough, or certain things were created with insecurities or anxiety. These moments are impacting you right now in the present moment because they have become a part of your identity and a part of your story. So then that means if this is how you're showing up right now in the present, impacted by that, it's going to continue to impact you in your future because this is just a timeline, right? It's the exact same as if we're just looking at it from here to here, right? So you've got like your past, your beginning. Say you've got all these times you're feeling unworthy, you feel like you're not good enough, you feel like you don't fit in. Maybe then some things go on in your personal life or some big events and they create some trauma, some pain, some heartbreak, all of these kinds of struggles. And that's how you're feeling, okay? You're feeling weighed down, you're impacted by all these things going on. That's okay, but the thing is like, because this is a direct timeline, because the past directly influences your present and directly influences your future, if you don't clear this up, then it's going to become a part of the rest of the cycle. So right now, even if say here's the thing. Sometimes people have a lot of things in their life right now that are working. They got a great job, great partner, really happy with your home life, with your friendships, with your income, some or all of the above. So like you feel like you have it all. This is why we can look at people and we go, well, you have it all. What do you have to complain about? But the weight of this past is still impacting them or possibly impacting you. And so you're not actually able to fully enjoy the present moment and fully receive and be present with all of the things that you have. So then this continues and moves forward into the future. So in order to create a future where you are like, yeah, yeah, man, you're like living your dreams, you're having the best possible future ever. In order to get there, we need to create a change right here in the present moment. Something's got to change because here's the thing. No matter what has happened in your past and in your childhood, every single person has subconscious blocks and limiting beliefs and old stories that were created in this time. And this is because that is how the human experience works. That's how the human mind works. And our brain and our subconscious mind is developing from ages up from like birth up until we're about 7 or 8 years old. So many things that have happened in this very early childhood that could seem very simple on paper, like even just like seeing an argument between your parents or having a teacher kind of make a comment about like, oh, you're not smart. Something like that happened one time could have impacted you and been stored in your subconscious mind as a fact or as a belief, and then it continued to impact you as you got older and you moved down this timeline towards where you are now. So if you do not become aware of these things, if you don't do the releasing work, and this is why I preach and I harp on it all the time, because that is where the benefits lie. You have to become aware and you have to work on letting go of that old story and those limiting beliefs because otherwise you're constantly carrying them with you every single day. So if you haven't yet, make sure you click the link down below and check out my free mindset training, because this is what I talk about on there in way more depth. But for now, let's just go back to the timeline here. So for example, here is how things from our subconscious, from our past, can really impact us. And this is why the releasing, the meditation, the energy work, journaling, all these different things, breaking down old belief patterns, hypnotherapy, the list goes on. But why it's so beneficial is because if we look at some story in your past, I'm going to give you two examples. So one example is pretty crazy. In a hypnotherapy session, I actually went all the way back to being inside my mother's womb, like an unborn baby, and I could feel the energy of her being upset with my dad, because my dad was busy with work. He was choosing the business, or so she thought. He was choosing the business over her. She was pregnant with me, and she had a 2.5-year-old son, which was my crazy brother, who was apparently a crazy child. So I could feel this energy, and it was one of the most powerful experiences doing this, because it's so surreal, it's hard even to explain. I could feel exactly where I was, the warmth, the comfort, being at home, which is that is our home as we're being grown or birthed, but I could feel the energy of how frustrated my mom was. And there was this argument between her and my dad, and she felt like she was kind of not a priority because he was prioritizing work, because I was actually born during his busy season at work. So that was the luck of it. But he did always prioritize work, because that was how he felt he was providing for us, and he was. But she wanted something different, and I, as an unborn baby, could feel this. And I realized in this hypnotherapy session that this is where so much of my own personal unworthiness stemmed from, because I had this subconscious block, this awareness of being chosen second, of not being a priority, and so of not being good enough. And I could feel all of this. And again, it's hard to explain, but if you've had meditation or hypnotherapy or different experiences like this, please feel free to share it down below in the comments, because I find this stuff fascinating, and I know I'm not alone in this. But it was the weirdest, most surreal experience to feel this strong energy and this understanding of wow, this is where the root cause of so much of my own insecurities, self-doubt, and unworthiness stems from. And it's from something I had zero conscious awareness of. So when you look at your past, you might be able to look on paper and go, oh yeah, I remember when I was 4, this happened, or I know my parents told me when I was 2, there was this going on in our lives, and that probably created some stress, and maybe that's something that I subconsciously internalized and created beliefs and feelings around, right? So when you look and you go back in your timeline, this is where you can start to create some understanding of where these things happened. But I want to fast forward now, and so because of that belief, that subconscious belief that I had, and the emotion and energy I was carrying, this became a part of a lot of my life. And this was something I carried with me into the present moment. And it wasn't until losing my brother and going through some other hardships that I started to do a lot of this work on uncovering these things, on releasing energy, on changing my mindset, my belief patterns, reprogramming everything. That I decided I need to change my present moment, because I knew I was carrying way too much from the past still, and I knew I had been so identified and really clinging tightly to all of the things I had gone through, and to all of the things that made up my story and my human experience. So I had to make a change to break out, so that the past wasn't impacting me in the present. And this is what I think is so important to share, because We all have that power. You cannot go back and change your past, obviously. I think a lot of us wish we could, myself included, but we can't. So what can you do? You can take the action steps right now in your present moment to make the changes, to do the work, to uncover where these things are coming from, to release the blocks, to let go of the old story, change the subconscious, and release the energy, the trauma, the heartbreak, the pain, all of the things that are energetically and emotionally weighing you down right now. That is your responsibility. And this is why we always hear that quote about how, like, the past is history. Am I just gonna make this up? Because I feel like I am. The past is history. The future, I'm making it up. The past is history. The future is a mystery. And the present is a gift. That's why now is a gift. That's why they call it a present, right? Let's just draw a present. That's the present. Okay, jokes and horrible quotes aside, okay, all you have right now is the present. You cannot control the past. You cannot change it. There's no power there. You have no power to change it, but the power of it is probably showing up right here, right now. So what we want to do is do the work in the present moment, because if you don't do the work now, you're basically just going from here, right? If you're not changing your present, you're just skipping, and your past is literally going to become your future. And this is where so many patterns show up in people's lives, because they don't do the work to fix it. And again, this happened for me a lot. Constant patterns, because of this unworthiness that I talked about, that I finally uncovered like 3 or 4 years ago. I'd been doing the work before then, and then this big block came about, like, being in my mom's stomach, and that allowed me to fix the present moment, because currently what I had been doing for years and years and years is everything from my past was just creating my future. I was constantly attracting guys who didn't value me, who didn't treat me well. I was stuck in patterns. This is probably, I don't blame that for being sexually assaulted, but I do believe some of my past and my own beliefs impacted that event. And I also know that every single job I went to, didn't matter where I was, whether I was in like the west coast of Canada, whether I was in the middle, whether I was working in Sri Lanka and I had a job there, whether I was in Australia, whether I was in Bali, like literally at the beginning of my travels and in the beginning of all of my work doing this, I was carrying the past with me so much and creating these patterns that every single job I had, I was being sexually harassed by the boss, who was like a guy. I constantly had these patterns of this sexual harassment, this lack of respect, this emotional abuse, just horrible, horrible things. And it was when I realized, wow, I'm carrying this. I am still carrying this weight of the past and the energy of it every single day. And that's what's creating all of these things showing up in my future. That's why these things keep showing up and over again, the same patterns. So I had to do the work on the present moment. I had to do the work right then to go, screw this. I don't want this anymore. How can I fix this? And that became my search. That became all of my work for answers, finding a way to let go of the past. So if your past created some kind of trauma or negativity or doubt or anxiety or insecurities, which I can guarantee it did, because we all have that experience and we all have these subconscious blocks created. In order to actually create the future that you desire, you need to do the work right now to release it so that you can be happy right now. Because otherwise, you're just continuously living in the past forever and ever. And I'm sure you don't want to do that. So again, if you want to know more about how I help my clients do this and how we work through these things, this is actually basically the exact framework of my 90-day Conquer Your Mind program, where we focus on the first month, is all about releasing the past. It's all about breaking down the past struggles, limiting beliefs, anxiety, fear, self-doubt, insecurities, everything that shaped us into who we currently are, and we're releasing that shit. We're getting rid of it. We're reframing it. There's meditations, there's journals, there's work to go through. So it's mindset, it's spirituality, it's all these things to clear that out, because that is when you can then show up present, literally present as a new person, not your past, not all of your old stories, but right here, right now, as a new person who has the potential to accomplish anything because they're not limited by all the things they used to experience. So in the second month of my program, we do all the present work, we do the confidence building, positive habits, becoming the version of yourself you want to be, all the self-esteem work, and all of the things that you need in order to create that new foundation for yourself to move forward in, to get to your dream future. And this is why I seriously believe so strongly in how I've set up this program, because I see so many people who try to just like fix the present, and they're like, I'm going to say some positive affirmations in the mirror every morning. But like, they haven't done anything to release the past. So they're just putting a little band-aid over top of it. They're still this person inside, and they're just trying to say like, oh, if I smile at the mirror and tell myself I'm pretty, it's all gonna be okay. But like, it's not, because they're still feeling like this. They're still carrying it energetically, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So it doesn't work. So after we do all the work on the present, we release the past, we build up the present, and then that's when you can align with your dream future, and you can start to connect more with whatever higher power you believe in. You connect with your intuition. You start to step forward in the world and create that new identity who's living out their future dreams with ease. And this is why it's so powerful. So again, if you want to learn more, hit the link down below for the free mindset training. And I also have a free 5-day challenge where I take you through this 3-step process over the course of 5 days. And it's very, very powerful. I've had amazing feedback and amazing results from the women who have done it already. I think even some guys have done it, because anyone can do it. So you can make sure you check that out in the links down below as well in the description box, and get started on one of those today. Because honestly, if you want to get to a future where you're looking like this guy, and you're like, yes, I finally did it, I finally got to where I want to be, then you have to follow this 3-step process. There's no other way. So let me know in the comments down below if you found this helpful. Let me know, give this video a thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And again, check out those links. Start making these shifts, because this is the process that will change everything. And it's helped me drastically in my own life and all of the clients I've taught it to. So you definitely don't want to miss out. Your dream future is waiting, and it's here for you. And it's so much closer than you think when you follow the right process and you do the releasing work first. So thank you guys for being here, and I will see you on the next video.